The devil is in the details. You and I have heard that phrase a million times. But I had an old teacher who taught me that the exact opposite may actually be the truth. Jesus often shows up in the little things. Maybe, just maybe, it's Jesus, not the devil, who's in the details. You remember the story. Jesus and his mother Mary and the disciples have been invited to a wedding feast, wedding party at Cana in Galilee. In verse 3, there's no wine. The wine has run out. They had those 6 large jugs or vats of wine, each one holding maybe 25 gallons or so. And the wine has run out. And Mary, John shows us, knows immediately what to do. When there's a shortage, go to Jesus. And then she says to the attendants, do whatever Jesus tells you to do. And so Jesus says, take those 6 jugs, 6 vats, and fill them up with water. And they do that. And then he says, now draw some out and take it to the attendants or take it to the steward of the wedding. And lo and behold, Jesus is off the chain, and Jesus is out of control. Verse 3, we've got 0 wine. In verse 8, we've got 150 gallons of wine, and not just 150 gallons of wine, but 150 gallons of Gallows finest, because the wine steward says, holy cow, this is the best wine. Who saves the best wine for last? Jesus has converted a shortage into an abundance, because Jesus cares about the details. He cares about the little things in our lives, because that's who we are, and he came to us to save us. I have a friend who says, Alan, I don't pray about all those little things. I don't give Jesus all these little details in my life. I'm saving up those, so in case I have any big requests, I'll have something stored up in the bank. And I said, hey man, you've got it all wrong. Jesus wants to hear those little details. He wants to be a part of our lives. And in fact, oftentimes, that's where he converts our shortages into abundances. Give him the details, because Jesus does care about the little things.
It can be hard for me to trust God with the little things in my life because they're kind of my specialty. Emails, schedules, trips, events, even outfits. All of those little things, they're things that I don't want to have to rely on anybody else, even God, to make those things happen. It seems to me like God probably has some bigger things to worry about. World peace and healing the sick. But at the same time, I like to believe that God has a really great sense of humor. And I see this a lot when I notice almost little wrenches in my plans. I remember a few years ago, I was on my way to an interview and I had everything perfectly planned out. I was so prepared for this. I had reviewed all the materials. I had the perfect outfit picked out. My route of how I was gonna walk there was all set so that I would be just early enough. Everything was going great until I was about 3 blocks away, and all of a sudden the sky opened up and it started to pour. It was absolutely raining buckets. And I remember, standing there and looking up at the sky and just starting to laugh because it became so funny to me. I had prepared every little piece of what was going to happen that day so that I was perfectly ready. But evidently, God had other plans. That rainfall and the great interview that followed was almost like a reminder from God. A reminder that I can plan everything out until my heart is absolutely content. That at the end of the day, He's got this. When I trust God with the little things in my life, it becomes a lot easier for me to trust Him with the big things too. So what about you? Do you trust God with the little things?